Welcome back everyone. So I made a video not too long ago about why I love older iPhones, and I felt like I was leaving a lot of other phones out of the place, but I want to talk about why I love older Samsungs. And honestly, it really just depends how old these specific phones we're talking about. Now, if they're like super old, it really just depends, but if they're 1 or 2 generations behind, I think this is the most probable cause. But even if they're multiple generations behind, I still think those Samsung phones have a lot of value as well. Now, specifically talking about the 1 or 2 generation old phones first, I think the price tag is probably the most important thing. As I always state, it's usually my first thing that I always recommend. And for phones like the Galaxy S10, the Galaxy S9, maybe even the Galaxy S8, if you want to throw it in there, probably not though, even the Note series as well. After that first year, actually, I'll say even after the first 2 months, these phones see so much depreciation that it's not even funny. The Galaxy S10 I think costs around $400. The Galaxy S9 you can pick up for less than $300. I think even the Note 10 costs less than $800 or $700 on Amazon. I saw some crazy price, or maybe it was eBay. But these phones depreciate so much, which is pretty insane. And the price tag is definitely my first thing that I would recommend as to why I love the older Samsungs. The second thing would definitely be the build quality. When you're talking about a phone that's only just maybe 1 or 2 or 3 generations behind, Samsung does such a good job of their build of their phones. It's so insane. You look at a lot of other manufacturers and you can kind of tell they're a little cheap. They don't really feel that great. They don't even look that great. But Samsung, even since the Galaxy S6, their phones have been looking pretty decent and they've been feeling really good in the hands. And when you look at a phone like the S8, the S9, S10, S20, these phones look tremendously great, and even a phone like the Galaxy S8 still kind of holds up in terms of the build quality and the way it feels in the hand. So definitely that's a humongous reason why I love these older Samsungs. Now the speed and performance is still pretty good. I was using my Galaxy S10 and it's still a pretty fast phone. It's not slow at all. Even my Galaxy S9, ever since Android 10 with One UI 2, it's really added a lot more smoothness, I think. And when I'm loading up apps and when I'm even swiping through with the gestures, it makes my Galaxy S9 feel so much smoother. And I was talking about this in my One UI 2 review of the S9, and I was honestly shocked. And my Note 9, I feel the same exact way as well. The Samsung lineup is so much more than just the S lineup. The Note line is super impressive as well, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is seriously one of my favorite phones ever. So the performance is still great on these phones, and even the cameras are still incredible. You look at the Galaxy S10 that has an amazing sensor on it. Even the Galaxy Note 8 had a pretty good sensor on it at the time, and even when I take photos on with it now, it still holds up quite well, and I'm really happy about it. So definitely when you're talking about phones that are just 1 or 2 generations behind from Samsung, those are extremely great and I have a lot of respect for those phones. But if we're talking about multiple generations behind, phones like the Galaxy S3, S4, S5, you can even throw the S6 in there a little bit. One of the biggest advantages for these specific phones would definitely be the custom ROM support. Now, you do have custom ROM support on the newer phones, like the Exynos versions, but I'm in America and I don't have any Exynos version phones here that I can easily obtain. So definitely the custom ROM support on these older phones are very impressive. I recently went on a bender and I rooted my S4, my S5, and S6. I think a Note phone as well. I don't really remember which one. And I had an amazing time with it. It was so cool. And like I've stated before, it breathed so much more life into these phones, which is super impressive. And I can definitely tell you at the end of the day, the custom ROM support of these older phones is probably one of my favorite things about it for sure. And even if you pick up a Galaxy S5 just to kind of mess with, having that custom ROM support, being able to install Android 10 on it is a very impressive thing and one of the most fascinating things I've done in a long time with these phones. So for sure, when it comes down to it, the custom ROM support is awesome. Also, the repairability of these older phones is very impressive as well. The new Samsung S10s and S20s and S9s, those are a little bit harder, but when you have a phone that has a removable battery, it's super easy to remove. You can easily just go swap a new battery in it and be set. And that's one of my favorite things about it. Phones like the S5 and below, you can just buy a new battery on Amazon, put it in this phone and be set, which is something I'm really happy about. And every time I see something like that, I just get so jittery inside. So definitely the removable batteries are very great. And even the build quality, it's really not that bad. When I'm feeling the S5 or S4 in my hands, especially the S6, but that excluded, they don't really look that bad. And even the screens on these phones are very impressive as well. They're all OLED for the most part, ever since I think the Galaxy S1 or S2. And those phones have really good build quality and screens as well. And I think in terms of the outside and the build quality, the Samsung phones have held up extremely well, but software is usually one of those things that are a little iffy, but if you get one of these older ones, you're able to custom ROM it, which is really cool. So those are just a couple of reasons as to why I love the older Samsung phones. I have a lot of love for all phones, but Samsung really knocks it out of the park sometimes, and their history is an example of it. So that really pretty much covers it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys get that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys to check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.